really very proud to see Mr. President giving the name of Dr. Ganzouli to the project. So I think this is one of the most important projects inaugurated. It's on the south. It's going to create stability in the food supply and in industries based on it. It's going to create jobs for people, proper standard of living. It's a project for the good of the change of climate, because it's a green project. So from all aspects, that's one of the most important projects. Second, when we see the inauguration, we can discover that all people working in the projects are Egyptians. And this is very important because it creates jobs. It decreases the level of unemployment. It creates also a level of the participation of the private sector, as we have seen one of the big companies is participating. So it's one of the very good projects we should be really all proud of. And I hope that inshallah will continue the range of that type of project, because food and agribusiness is going to be an extremely type of demand in the coming period. And it's going to help Egyptians as well become, like before, the sources of food to major parts of the world.
Yes. Dr. Passant, as an economic expert, how do you see the economic as well the political importance of the projects?
When you look at our budget and you see the size of import and the size of money which is spent on importing food and raw material related to it, there are billions, and they are in foreign currency. But when we execute that type of project, we save from and we help the budget of the country. Not only we save amounts, but we develop sources of finance as well. Because I assure you that most of those products will be exported or will be used in the agribusiness and exported as well as goods.
Yes.
So I think it has a very positive. It will have a very positive effect on our balance of trade, balance of payment, on the level of foreign currency we used to use to import our food. So it will have a major impact. And in addition to all this, it will create a decent life for the people in Egypt.
Definitely. Dr. Passant, President Sisi also said that 200 billion pounds are needed for the reclamation of 1 million faddans, calling on the private sector to take part in the development process. So how would you expect the role of the private sector to be implemented in such a scheme?
A major role. First of all, because the private sector can access banks. And they can borrow locally and internationally. And the banks lend them because of their credit worthiness. They are strong. We have seen today major Egyptian private sector companies participating in that development. So the participation of the private sector will not depend on, the balance of payment or the balance of trade of the country to finance. It will depend on the banking sector and the stock market as well.
Yes.
Second, the involvement of the private sector will encourage the foreign companies, the multinational companies, to come with their technology, join the private sector, and effect that type of project faster, much faster than we should depend on, the sources of the government, because the sources of the government are very limited these days. 70% of the resources for the government are taxes, and most of the companies are facing problems. So they are not paying enough taxes. So we need to have the private sector itself access the banking sector locally and internationally, in addition to the foreign investors, to go ahead and participate in developing that side. So it is very, very important. Inshallah, it's going to work professionally.
Yes. Also there was a call by the president on the media to take its part or to play its part in these projects by raising the awareness of the citizens on the importance of the projects. How do you read that?